Hi everyone, welcome back to Hobby Farm in the Heights. I'm Ruth. As predicted, the rain stopped and the wind started to blow, hence the I don't care hair, because why do your hair when you're going to be out in the garden with wind? Anyway, I'm out here puttering and pulling some weeds, and I thought I would pass along a little tip. As you guys garden more and more, you'll learn to recognize seedlings that kind of volunteer around your garden. Now, if you are more of the personality, OCD personality, like my hubby tends to be, this style of gardening will drive you nuts. You would be more along the lines of this style right here. Look at this. This is like what I call a Pinterest perfect lettuce bed. Nothing else but lettuce in neat rows, etc. Now, I do like my nice neat rows, straight rows, as we've talked about before, but there's also a part of me that has trouble killing any plant that I find. So as I'm weeding out my beets, I'll show you my beets here. They look a little sad because I've been pulling weeds, but you'll recognize beets are easy to thin out and weed because they have this lovely red stem. These will pop back too. And so when I come along here, I can easily tell which is the weed because it has a green stem. But as I'm coming here, oh, there it is. See this little seedling here? This I recognize as it's a little basil plant. I came across some over here too. You can see these little guys here. And I left them because I thought, well, increase my yield. I might as well let them grow. So I will have some beets and basil growing together. Now, I would not leave a plant that would ruin my crop rotation, if that makes sense. So I've come across tons and tons of, wow, my hair is just like, wow. Tons and tons of volunteer tomatoes. Now, tomatoes definitely would mess up crop rotation if I just let them grow willy-nilly all over my garden. So I do pull out the volunteer tomatoes, but like over here, and see, here's our sweet potatoes. I was pulling some weeds. You see this guy here? It's a volunteer marigold. Now you can tell by the very, I call it kind of a shredded leaf of a marigold. And marigolds are great bug repellent plants. And so if I find a volunteer marigold around, I let it grow. If it's gonna be if it's in a spot that's not very conducive, I will like carefully transplant it, but I don't kill them because it's like a bonus plant, right? So why kill it? So I found quite a bit. I have a zucchini plant that, I don't know if you can see it from here, right there. Bing! In the carrots. Now I haven't decided if I'm gonna let it to continue to grow or not, but I'm kind of curious what variety, what kind it is. But it sure looks like a zucchini plant. Anyway, so I'm just out here puttering away, pulling some weeds, mulching, and I do have a few more petunias and snapdragons to plant. And as always, when I'm out here, I'm on bug patrol. Any bugs I find, I crush, smush. You can do bug patrol with a bucket of soapy water if you're not fond of just crushing the bugs. But because of our very wet spring, abnormal spring that we've had, a lot of slugs and snails are around. And so I've been picking them off and crushing them and throwing them. And we'll do a whole video on pest control and what I do, but if you're out in your garden and you see a bug, like a potato bug, which I've squished multiple today, snails, slugs, kill those suckers, man. A bucket of soapy water with you works, or just smush them. The boys and I the other day did have a snail fight at my mother-in-law's. Well, it consisted of me tossing snails at them. It was fun. They didn't mind. I think my mother-in-law was a little grossed out, but that's what you do with boys. You have some fun. Anyway, over here, carrots are much harder to weed and thin, you can see, because they don't have that green to red ratio like beets. But you can tell by the leaves, you can see how this is a frilly leaf. This, not frilly, pigweed. So you come down here, pull it out. This is probably my least favorite job in the garden. Super tedious, but ooh, look at this, right there. It's a little basil plant. Basil's not gonna hurt anything, it's just aromatic. It's not gonna interfere with the carrot growing or the beet growing, both of which I found the extra basil growing in the bed. And so I'm just gonna let them grow and we'll see. And it'll probably drive my husband nuts because it's not uniform, but he'll have to live with it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this Memorial Day weekend, whatever you're doing. Hopefully you're spending time with your family, having some fun, and enjoying some gardening in there too. Take care.